Hey gods and goddesses, welcome to April 2025, April horoscopes. I know March showed absolutely no mercy, but it definitely brought us this powerful shift. And in the month of April, we are now going to experience a restore in momentum, a restore in progress, a restore in mental focus, clarity of the mind, finally a breakthrough. Opportunities come in the month of April. In all areas of our chart, I'm definitely going to go over each one. But if you've been feeling stuck, well, I know most of us have, especially with the eclipse season. Thank goodness that the eclipse season or the portal closes on April 12th, when we have the full moon in Libra. Venus is actually going retrograde on that day. Well, it's going direct on that day in Pisces, so that's a great thing. But thank God the portal is closing, and we will now feel more at ease. So if you've been feeling stuck, if you've been feeling stagnant, if you've been feeling, going through a heartbreak, if you've been feeling anything that, displays these negative emotions, or brings any type of heaviness to the body, to the mind, to the heart, to the spirit at that. I just want to stress on the fact that everything that has happened on eclipse season happens just as it's supposed to. And I know it's definitely hard to hear, but now you want to position yourself to promote yourself, to promote heart healing, to promote a more embodied and more truer, authentic version of yourself, an authentic voice. Everything that has been lost, everything that has been gone, or that has arrived in your life is for a reason. Everything happens just as it's supposed to. And it's really important that in April, well, we will understand this, that you are paying attention to the nudges. The universe is nudging you when we have the Pisces and Neptune, in our nodes. The K2 and Rahu is in Pisces and Virgo. The nudges, listen to the nudges of the universe, right? And that is exactly what April wants to teach us, right? And as we move forward with these planetary shifts, Neptune is a very significant one. As we move forward, we are finding, or we are not even finding, we are wanting more stability, more prosperity, more focus in the mind, more understanding about the emotions, learning how to balance them, but more so igniting the confidence that we need in order to make the next step. New beginnings are offered left and right in April, but you cannot see them because the past is still literally very close. It's very close. It almost feels like the past just happened yesterday. A lot of memories come up. A lot of things come to the forefront, you know. But that's why I said it's very important to focus on the healing of the heart. Neptune, we cannot lose Neptune's teachings. We are energy based beings. Neptune moving into Aries is helping us understand that Neptunian tendencies must be used on the self, the body. Energetics we must use on our body in order to heal ourselves, in order to promote some type of healed or improved state. We have to learn our technology, oh my goodness, our Neptunian practices, Reiki, energy-based beings, everything that has been brought to life by the age of Pisces, right? You have ayahuasca, you have aboga, you have psychedelics, you have a lot of things that, you don't even need to put anything in your body. Literally going outside, walking barefoot, spending time in the sun, spending time doing sound baths, body baths, so many different practices. Pisces have taught us that can heal us, our emotions, that can heal a lot of things that we experience, right? But they're supposed to be used on the self. And so we must not forget that when Aries is moving in this month, because it's very easy to. And it's very easy to now start seeing the self as something, as yes, strength, power, is which we all are, but Chiron is still in that sign. And though Chiron is being strengthened up, we have to not be a disillusion or illusion about the things that we put on ourselves. We have to be confident in our decisions. We have to know. That's most importantly. Stop believing in yourself. Start knowing in yourself. And so let's just say that April is definitely a month that we are moving forward, right? There's this cosmic landscape that is thrown out for us that we're following. We're listening to the universe. We're using the holistic tools in order to heal ourselves back up. I do feel like in the beginning of April there's a lot of frustration, with the self, because you're trying to align your energy to the opportunities that is ahead, but you have to understand that you are energy based being. You have to align your energy. You can't just say you're ready. Literally, you can't just voice it. You can voice it. Yes, your voice is a spell, but you also have to prepare your body energetically. Like, if you want the divine, if you want goddess and God to dwell inside of your vessel, you must be a vessel of that. It is very unhealthy for us to think that it's for us to think that it's for us to think that it's healthy to not take care of ourselves, to not put the same energy that we put in another person in ourselves. Ooh, I will get to that because that's exactly what the Venus and Mercury story retrograde has been teaching us. So, starting on the beginning of the month, like I said, it's a little bit cloudy, a little cleary because Neptune just moved into Pisces. Though we know, it's like our spirit knows that something new is coming, but consciously we have to be ready for it. And you cannot deluding yourself to know that something is happening, but never prepare for it. Always be in preparation, especially when the universe, you're saying you want stuff, be in preparation in order to receive it. That's really important, like, to remember. But anyways, past that, when we're talking about Mercury, on the 7th, April 7th, Mercury is going to be stationing direct in Aries. Thank goodness. Excuse me. It's going to be stationing direct in Pisces. Thank goodness. But this kind of lifts this mental fog on us. It lifts the mental fog on the mental, the mind. You know, you're able to make more confident decisions. You're able to plan ahead. You're able to not feel like you're going to be delayed for the rest of your life, right? You're able to like have fresh new ideas, look at things from outside of the box, you know. Um, excuse me. This time, I really think that when Mercury is stationing direct, it's really good because it brings us a sense of clarity, but it also brings us a sense of intentional and purposeful, like intention, because like I said, Mercury is the messenger of the gods. And Mercury, when you're receiving any type of insight from Mercury, you must listen. The ideas that come to your head that, you know, we like to play, we're like, wait, what is that, we actually have to write them down, and we have to pay attention to what's going on in your universe, please. Most importantly, with, you know, Mercury going into direct, Mercury and Venus are playing out very, very specific stories that haven't happened for a very long time. um, so, you know, the Venus and Mercury story has been going on. It's going to be going on still because we're still going to have Venus in Aries at the end of the month, but it's playing out in a very specific story, and you must pay attention to it. And so, with the full moon being in, actually, excuse me, April 12th, we have the full moon in Libra happening. And on that same day, we have Venus going direct in Pisces. And I like, let me just tell you what it is, because the Venus and Mercury story has been playing out, and then we have the full moon in Libra. The main thing of this is bringing this truth to any type of dynamic that you're in, bringing these heart-centered conversations about what's needed from the next person, releasing the heartbreak, the past heartbreak. You know, there's a lot of focus on like loving other people, right? We should love people, like love them until, you know, like love a man until, you know, he finally gets up, or let him love you until you get on your feet. These are the most unhealthiest ways. I don't even understand who the hell taught us this shit, but this is very, you know, the way that we have been loving each other or ourselves have been borderline on the on borderline mental illness. And it's like bringing focus, like how the hell did we even position ourselves to think that we can bring harmony to someone else's life or someone else's existence or someone else's way of being when we couldn't even do it for ourselves? The mental illness, like, it's crazy. It's you know, things are very, very backwards, but I think in April we start to understand that we were never meant to do any of that. And the way that we have been taught to love other people, we really should be loving ourselves. It's literally putting the energy back into ourselves to build ourselves up, because we're walking each other home. We were born alone. Even though I have a twin sister. We're born alone, where we are responsible for our own life experience. Our spirit is pulling us all in different directions. And if we are giving out our power constantly to other people because we want to be compassionate. That's Venus in Pisces. We want to be compassionate, we want to be loving, we want to be this, we want to experience all of these things. We are literally giving all of our power away. We are rich at spirit. We have to understand the reason why the person is loving you is because of who you are. If it is something that you are becoming that is, we are not meant to love for the rest of our lives, if that makes sense. We are meant to love ourselves for the rest of our life. How can we love another person for the rest of their life when they change, they become different people, and we are not doing that for ourselves, but we change and we become different people? See, borderline insane, literally mental illness. And so that is the teaching of Mercury and Venus, is trying to teach us, like, love, the more that you love yourself, you are loving everybody in this world. Love is all around you. God is love, right? How can you love someone else and you say that, there's just a lot of stuff going on. And the full moon in Libra, it's very emotional for people, because there's this newfound independence that other people have, because they want to love themselves more than they love you, because it doesn't make sense to. If you don't love yourself, why should I love you? You don't even love me, and I don't even love myself. There's just so many conversations and clarity that comes with these with Venus and Mercury going direct. And I'm very, very happy, like, people are now releasing these types of connections, or they're releasing these types of dynamics that do not bring balance to the self, or harmony to the self. God, I can speak about that for so freaking long, because that is a lot of focus, at the middle of March. Put energy into yourself and your life's work, and I promise you, whatever is out there will find you. You don't have to run, you don't have to chase it. It's coming. And so on April 16th, we have, we're done with the 12th. So on April 16th, we have Mercury moving into Aries, and this is sharpening up our communication skills, very direct when it comes to, very confident when it comes to the way that we are communicating. Remember that Chiron is still in Aries as well, so speak from the heart. Speak from the heart, right? There is confidence that is coming with Mercury. There's this clarity in thought. There's a sharpness to act on something. There's doing things without hesitation. Let's just say that, right? Doing things without hesitation. Wow. That can be a beautiful thing, but also Mars is a ruler of Aries, and Mars is going to be in Leo on the 18th, entering Leo. It's been in Cancer for a very long time in retrograde, came out of retrograde in February, but Mars and Leo can be very, very rich in their creativity. Oh my goodness, they can create gold. Gold is coming through when we are talking about Mars and Leo in its highest form, when they are really channeling that inner child. That is what Mars is trying to do, channel the inner child to produce some type of beautiful project. So stepping into some type of leadership role with Mars is in Aries is beautiful. It can happen during this time. Launching a new project can happen, and whatever area this may happen in your life, this is what I'm talking about. But if you naturally have Mars and Leo, this is your Mars and Leo. Please, no one is more creative than you when Mars is in Leo. No one is more creative than you. Create something that is sustainable, right? And so, yes, this is definitely the right time to create something that is very sustainable, something that, is passionate for you, something that you think that is passionate for you, okay? And then when we have the sun going into Taurus on the 19th, this brings a little bit more of that passion down to the ground. Now we're grounding ourselves. In April, the end of April, we're going to feel more at peace with nature. Like, we should be grounding ourselves. Like, we should be setting up foundations in order to receive, instead of going forward, charging forward. We allow ourselves to receive by connecting more to Mother Nature, Mother Taurus. When the sun is entering the Taurus, it is like, it goes from being very intense to being a momentum, like finding some type of sense and anchoring down on some type of passion, if that makes sense. And now planting to seeds to make it into something sustainable. But here's what we find: patience. We find ourselves growing intellectually. I mean, well, not intellectually, definitely intellectually, but internally we find ourselves growing because, wow, if I can wait for this, if I can find patience in waiting for this, I can wait for anything. It's like waiting for what truly matters to you. Like, I can wait for that. You feel more like that at the end of the month. Like, I can wait for what truly matters to me. I can build up something meaningful step by step. I can do this. And I will say that this is a perfect time to connect to nature, because we're going to have the new moon in Taurus as well. This is a perfect time to connect to nature, ground yourself, because Taurus's energy is supposed to be used or harnessed to stabilize us into this reality. Taurus's energy is supposed to stabilize us, yes, into this reality. And then we have the new moon on the 27th. This brings a powerful focus to what you want in the world. Well, I won't say what you want in the world, because, well, it is what you want, because Taurus is a manifestation that is something material, but it is happening in different areas of our chart. So I will go over that. But on the 27th, when we have the new moon in Taurus, this brings a focus to what we want materialistically and making the action in order to invite prosperity into our life, to invite some type of stability, some type of long-term something, right? Morals. This can be us going over our morals, over our values, which really means something to us, right? This is trying to clear away any type of stagnant energy that's just sitting around that you could be using, you could be alchemizing, okay? And so that's what's happening at the end of the month. And now you're seeing how you can alchemize this energy, right? Bury it into the ground, have yourself building up, do some type of planting during that time. And think, as you're planting this plant, you are planting your dream. Something, whatever you're planting it, and it's happening as the plant is growing. Really convince yourself of this. We want to know this is happening, especially when Pisces is in North Node. Literally, your imagination is your friend. The best thing that you can do is live out what's in your imagination. That is the best thing that we can do for ourselves in this lifetime. And so, as we close the month with Venus entering in Aries, on the 30th, Venus in Aries. I like Venus in Aries because it falls in and out of love. That's my favorite way to describe it, because it loves itself first. If it sees that it has to do anything else that is not showing the love and attention and the courage that they need, it is out. It's like, listen, I'm out. But when we're feeling the energy at the end of the month, this is realigning yourself to your passion, realigning yourself to your inner boldness, realigning yourself to direct your will towards something that is purposeful, meaningful, but some type of direct action, whether it's in love, whether it's creativity, whether it's your personal goals, whether it's a desire, it's anything that you need, anything that you're trying to bring in that is going to empower you, right? Or push you forward in any type of way. Yes. And so that's what let me see. Do I have any more transits that's happening? No, that is the month of April that we have going on. So as I said, it's a very, very, a very up and down month. But hey, if God, the universe, hands you the tools to create some type of stability, to create some type of success, to create some type of forward movement, are you going to listen to the call? Please pay attention to the nudges, answer the call of the universe. And yes, especially with Pisces, oh my goodness, anything is possible. And yes, let's get started. Hey Aries. So Aries, if you haven't watched the beginning of the video, definitely watch the beginning of the video, because I go over all the transits and this all affects you, your person, your identity, your character. I'll quickly go over them though. So are you ready to step into your power, Aries, for real? We know that the Chiron has been in your sign for a very long time. Having you question who you are, questioning yourself, questioning your role in this world, or questioning your role overall, right? Really testing your patience and testing your sense of willpower at that. So it's this month in April. Are you ready to move forward? The sun is going to be in your sign. Happy solar return, Aries. Happy Earth Day, Aries. Happy return, Aries. Happy days, happy ways. All of it. Okay, so are you ready to clear away what no longer serves you when it's regarding your past? Because we have the North Node in your 12th house. The North Node is trying to clear away what no longer serves you, whatever is uncertain. Aries, will be made certain this month, or at the end of the month, when it has to do with you as a person, where you're going, where you're headed. Okay. And when it comes to your past, Aries, you have to take a good look at the past in order to give yourself the confidence that you need to move forward, the confidence that you need to speak your truth. Okay. And then on the 12th, we're going to have the full moon in Libra happening in your seventh house, your house of relationships. Aries, there's no one that you love more than yourself, right? Not at all. Whether this full moon brings like a deepening of the relationship, whether it brings a deepening of a love story, whether it brings attention to your emotional patterns, their emotional patterns, whether you're ready for a new start, whether you are freaking looking unresistible, right? Because you're going to have Venus in your sign as well. Whatever it is, whether you have to move forward solo, whatever you're deciding, Aries, because it's going to be your decision. Mercury is going to go direct on the 7th, okay? So you can make a decision. Whatever decisions that you need to be made, Aries, any type of patterns that you need to release, this is a perfect day that you're going to do that, okay? And then on the 18th, Mars is your ruling planet, and Mars is going to be in Leo, which is another fire sign, right? And it's going to be in your 5th house. So pour everything into your creativity, pour everything into your personal suits, your art, your love, your inner child needs your attention. Pour everything into that, because you can create something very magical by your own personal freaking efforts. And that's always a beautiful thing, especially with Mars in the 5th house. Mars is trying to create some type of entrepreneurial success, if that makes sense. To buy your own crafts, you have to do it yourself. You got to do yourself. You got to do your own thing. Like, you have to believe in your vision. You have to know your vision is worth believing in, Aries, please. And at the end of the month, I do think that when Aries, well, not Aries, excuse me, when Taurus, the sun is going to be in your 2nd house. This brings a focus to your values, your cash flow, and I feel like this will help you establish a more beneficial plan when it comes to making financial plans, or when it comes to spending something. You can make a purchase, you can help yourself, or not, well, definitely help yourself, but you're regaining or rebuilding your finances, or feeling some type of or finding some type of way to rebuild your finances. But this gives you a renewed sense of self. You know what I'm saying? Maybe you found out how to save money, or you don't have to pay for something anymore, or something just happens where you're able to to establish a better foundation when it comes to your finances, your sense of value, when it comes to your sense of worth as well. With the new moon in Taurus, this is where you really do get a perfect chance to manifest some type of abundance. Aries, you must not waste this time. April 27th, you are getting a chance to make a vision board, make a abundance board, right? Make a board where you will stick to this plan, and you will not waver. Right? You will build up this plan step by step, as Taurus does. At the end of the month, that is the best thing that you can do for yourself, Aries. And that's all I have for you, Aries. Happy birthday. This is going to be a great month for you. I'm so happy that the fire is finally going to be ignited back into Aries. You're going to get going, get yourself going and flowing. It's going to be a beautiful transition to see how you find your inner light again, Aries, okay? As all of these things are happening, let's see how you start to speak your truth again, Aries. So that's all I have. I'll see you guys in the next video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see you guys. Let's move to Taurus. Taurus rising. Okay. So Taurus, if you haven't watched the beginning of the video, please go watch the beginning of the video, because I go over each transit and what that's going to mean. But personally, I'm going to go over for you, Taurus. Let's see what we got for this month of April. Whew, it's going to be your season, Taurus. Happy solar return, happy Earth Day, happy days to you, Taurus. I'm so happy for you. This is a beautiful transition that we have going into April for you, Taurus. Things are a little bit more clear, okay? Things become a little bit more, like all of the work that you've been doing internally, Taurus, start to show on the outside. Things start to really bear its fruit. Okay, so we have Mercury going direct on the 7th in your 11th house, and this clears up a lot of confusion that you have with who's your friend and who's not, who's been here for you and who hasn't really been. And you're thinking about your long term plans, goals, and wishes this month. And I do think that because Mercury is going to be up in the 11th house, you get a very, very clear insight, a very, very clear insight to the mind, something that is very electrified. Well, I won't say it's very electrified. The way that I wanted to describe it is like it brings a attention to your awareness. So you stop, you're thinking like, oh wow, this is a very profound idea that comes to you on this day, 3 days before, 3 days after. And this can allow you to be very selective about, well, this insight that you get, it basically allows you to be very mindful about what you want and what you don't want, who's around you and who you don't want around you. It's almost like your energy is very intentional. You're being very intentional with your energy now, Taurus. And that's so great. I love that for you. And with the full moon, with the full moon in Libra happening in your 6th house, Taurus, this brings a focus to your well-being. This is where you need to find more balance within your life. Treating your body as a temple is definitely, challenging at first when you're not taught these types of, when you're not taught these types of things. We're taught to just, put whatever into our body to get us full. But when we're very intentional about what goes inside of our body, we are very powerful. And that is this focus. That's what this focus is going to bring to you, Taurus. Libra ruling over your 6th house. It's really about what you put in, you get out. If you put in health, you get health. You put in wealth, you get wealth, Taurus. Be very intentional about these things this month because it's coming up on your season, right? The sun is going into your sign. You're going to be looking good. You're really going to be activated, right? This is your solar return. You're going to be activated in some type of way. Even if it isn't, you're a Taurus sun, it's your solar return, but it's more like you are awakening a lot in the inside, and you're awakening these hidden desires that you didn't even know you had, Taurus. And you are awakening a lot of spiritual gifts that you do have, and you want to be very selective about the things that you expose yourself to and expose your body to, Taurus. And this month is really going to teach you that. And it's a very beautiful transition to see, Taurus. I'm so happy for you, really. I'm very happy for you because the more wealth that you put in your side of your body, the more wealth you can accumulate in your season. So that's the beautiful thing, right? You know that Uranus is in your sign causing this rapid change, has been causing rapid change for a long amount of time, right? But when it's in your season, it's almost like it's asking you to level up and grow very rapidly. But this is a beautiful transition because when you grow internally, everything outside of you changes. Honestly, it's more work to do outside of you than inside. If that makes sense, Taurus. And then on the 18th, we have Mars going into Leo, and this is going to be in your 4th house. And your 4th house is, your home. This is security, the house of the parents or the mother. And this is establishing a new home. Maybe you are cleaning up your home. Maybe there's a lot of arguments that happen in the home. Sometimes when Mars is in the 4th house, it can bring arguments, different ideas, emotional impulses. People can't control their emotions as well as, they think they can during this time when Mars is in the 4th house. But it's really important for you to use any type of pent up energy that you have to like clean the house, make it more fun, make it more appealing, spend time with your children, spend time with your mother during that time, really finding some time to find your inner peace. Find your inner peace through inner creativity, Taurus, if that makes sense. Okay. And then when the sun is going to be entering into the 9th house, to your house on the 19th, this brings a spotlight to you, right? This brings a spotlight to your 1st house. The sun is in your 1st house. And so now this is a perfect time to create or amplify or whatever you need to do for yourself, Taurus, but you will feel very, very empowered, very confident in your self-expression. A lot of setting boundaries or setting intentions in order to reach your goals, in order to align to your deepest desires, Taurus. keep this in mind, or keep the same type of energy when it comes to making any decisions like this for yourself, Taurus. Be very selective about what you truly want and what you put into your vessel, and is what can birth a lot of great things for you, Taurus. On the 27th, when we have the new moon in your sign, beautiful, beautiful. Like, this is beautiful. Like, I don't know how to keep saying it, because when you get new chances and you get like definitely portals inside of your sign in order to align with your deepest aspirations, this is where you use them. And Taurus, you have so much loving energy that is surrounding the first house, right? So much awakening and so much support, honestly. So this is a perfect time for you to lay down any foundation that you have that you would like to see 6 months time, right? The new moon in your sign can help you set these intentions, Taurus. So I would use that time to be very intentional about whatever I want inside of my inside of my space. So yes, that's all I have for you, Taurus. I hope that was helpful. Definitely like, comment, subscribe, please. I'm going to move to Gemini. So let's get started with Gemini. Gemini rising. Gemini, April horoscopes for you. So Jupiter is in your sign, right? Gemini. And Jupiter has been really teaching you a lot, or honestly, you've been going a lot internally when it comes to wisdom. You've been finding these hidden gems that Gemini has, right? You've been finding the hidden gems in Gemini. And when we have Mercury, well, Mercury is your ruler, right? So Mercury is going to be going direct on the 7th. And so when Mercury is in your 10th house, I really feel like it gives you, and Mercury is your ruler aroused, it gives you this sense of knowing what you're saying now. You know what you're talking about, Gemini, right? You know what the vision is, if there is a vision. You know where your life should be headed. You know the long-term goal, right? And even if you don't know, it's like you have a lot of opportunities that are presented to you that make you know. It's like you are positioned for greatness, and there's no way that you don't understand that already, Gemini, right? And because when we have the Mercury up in the 10th house, we are receiving a lot of divine insights, messages. We are very clear. And for you, Gemini, you are very clear in the mind. So expect a lot of messages when it comes to networking, like opportunities. Mercury is your ruler, but Mercury is ruling over the medias. So expect media. What I mean by that is like, Gemini, if you're not on the media, if you're not on like YouTube, Instagram, and all that stuff, I would suggest that you start spreading your ideas, whatever is most important or most valuable to you and your vision, Gemini. I would use this time to be very vocal about that online, right? And Mercury is going direct. So yeah, I would be very mindful about that. And then we have Mercury entering into Aries in your 11th house on the 16th. Fresh conversations. This is talking to new people. Like, I no longer want to talk to the people that don't talk about anything. And Gemini, we know you're not talking to those types of people. Gemini is talking to people that actually have something to say. So expect a lot of exciting conversations. Expect a lot of new connections. Collaborations can happen when Mercury is in 11th house. Reach out, share your ideas, especially to the public, Gemini. A lot more people will be happy to receive those type of ideas. On the 12th, we have the full moon in Libra. How did I skip that, right? And I went all the way to the 16th. But the full moon in Libra, Gemini, is going to bring a focus to your 5th house. And this is your house of fun, Gemini. And this is a house of romance as well. And this is really time to see, where does the heart lie, Gemini? Don't lie. Where does the heart lie, Gemini? Don't lie. You are really starting to we have Venus going direct too, and in your 10th house, but we're talking about the 5th house right now. But you really start to align yourself to what your heart is truly desiring, whether it comes to career, whether it comes to partners, children. Like, you're really starting to see the heart wants what it wants, and I'm not gonna fight that anymore. So Gemini, For you, we have Venus going into your 10th house as well. So like I said, this is a beautiful combination when it comes to people want to know what you have to say. What you're saying is literally beautifully put together. For everyone, Gemini, it's very enchanting. You're very enchanting during this time, okay? And I would use that type of energy in order to push yourself forward, especially within your professional setting. If you are a professional, any type of setting, that is where you can speak publicly and people can hear you. Having people hear you is needed. You must be heard. Okay? And so on the 18th, we have Mars in, yeah, on the 18th, we're going to have Mars in Leo. And so that's going to be in your third house, Gemini. And that brings you, your third house is you. I would definitely, your voice is very impactful. I would just write, I would jot, I would speak, I would network. I would just spend this time just talking, Gemini. But listen, you have to listen too. On the 19th, we have, on the 19th, we have the sun entering. Wait, excuse me. We have the new moon in. Excuse me. Oh my goodness, I'm getting all the dates mixed up. We have the sun entering into Taurus on the 19th. Excuse me. This is a powerful shift and renewal for you, Gemini, when it comes to your spiritual insights. Your subconscious mind is very. It's like renewed. It's like you start to see what comes up in your subconscious mind. You have a chance to, just rest, if that makes sense. You can rest, you can examine it, you can write, you can journal, what you just examine it and do whatever you need to do in order to relieve any type of subconscious patterns that you have that no longer work. And then on the new moon in Taurus, excuse me, on the 27th, we have the new moon in Taurus. This is going to be a time where you release what no longer serves you. And I feel as though you're going to get a pretty good insight into that when it comes to observing your own subconscious patterns, Gemini. You start writing them down, seeing what no longer works for you, establishing new focuses that involve your truest desires and that involve your truest self. So your truest self is really being born in the inside, and it's going to be beautifully like orchestrated on the outside when it comes to whatever you decide to point it towards, Gemini. So that's all I have for you, Gemini. That was very, very long. I just had a lot of things to tell you. So if that was helpful, definitely like, comment, subscribe, please, and I will see you guys in the next video. I'm going to be moving on to Cancer. So Cancer rising. April horoscopes. Cancer, I know you can't wait till we get to June and July, right? Like June and July is going to be much better for Cancer. It's honestly, everything is like heaven sent and miracle based. And the second half of the year for Cancer is it's a very beautiful like combination, or a very beautiful understanding. Like things really come together for Cancer risings at the second half of the year. So we're in April. Okay, 4 months in, Cancer. Okay, wow. Anyways, Cancer. So we are going to be having Mars. So Mars has been in your sign for a very long time, right? Getting you to initiate a lot of creativity, but also to literally confront the emotional imbalances or the emotional impulses or the moodiness, like just being extremely moody all the time, right, Cancer? And this could have been a challenge, but when it comes to your creativity, it could have birthed something new. You could have been very like genius when it comes to your creativity if you've used Mars in Cancer the right way. So when Mercury goes direct on the 7th of April in your ninth house, this definitely clears up a lot of confusion for you. It clears up confusion about education. It clears up confusion about the bigger plans, the bigger picture. What is the bigger picture of life, and what is universe actually trying to tell me? You know, you're laying the foundations of your goals, your dreams, and your and when Mercury's going direct, it's now you have more understanding about what needs to be done. When Mars is in your sign and Mercury goes into retrograde, you are not really that focused, or you have to be emotionally involved in order to understand something, or it doesn't make any sense to you. It's like speaking another language, and now it's going to start to make sense to you as April goes on, right? Everything that has happened, you'll really start to see why it happened. And so on April 16th, we have Mercury entering into your 10th house, and this is your ambitions. The 10th house has to do with our public image, and this is making your goals known to society, if that makes sense, right? Making it easier to communicate your goals, to communicate the thing that you want, to voice what you need. Your voice, Mercury has been in retrograde, has been very difficult to speak, or you don't know what you're talking about, Cancer, or you feel as though your words are not being received correctly. And oh god, you could tell I have a Cancer placement at this point because Mercury is in retrograde and I cannot get this out. Um yes, but yes, so on the 16th, there you are making your voice known in some type of way, Cancer. And then on the 12th, when we have Libra, we have the full moon in Libra. This is you focusing on what's going on in your home. The fourth house is ruled by you, Cancer. You have to focus on what's going on at home. Honestly, I know the ambitions, all the stuff happen, like that all matters, but what's going on at home matters even more. So it may be a very personal issue that you must resolve, or it must be something that you have to do to in order to strike some type of balance, right? Because the 10th house is opposing the fourth house. So there could be some type of balance that you must strike within your home. You can't even really focus on, what's going on in your career until the end of the month, on the 30th, honestly, when we have a Venus going in Aries. Venus is bringing a lot of attraction, making people love the things that you say. You're able to speak with more clarity, so people love the things that you say, right? And this is helping you gain recognition for your career, or recognition for the things that you have once voiced before, right? This is bringing a lot of attention to you, Cancer. And then there can be a personal like emotional uh imbalance that you have to confront this month. That's very emotional, that comes with the release and all of these things, but that really gets you to like feel good again about yourself. It really gets you to grow in some type of way, Cancer. On the 18th, we have Mars in Leo in your house, in your second house, excuse me, of finances, getting you to buy something, getting you to want to buy something, building up your security in some type of way. New income or new opportunities definitely could surface. Um, you can have a lot of goals and aspirations that you want to share with the world. You want to share with groups and things of that nature. And when the sun is entering into Taurus on the 19th, this is where you want to take advantage of your goals. You want to take advantage of to whatever is aligning to your vision, people, places, and things. Choose the right one, Cancer. Choose the right one. Like, don't choose the one that it does not align. Even though it looks appealing, it doesn't align. Say no. Okay, so I would definitely choose one that involve align with the vision, and because we have the new moon in Taurus on the 27th, so this is you setting your goals or setting your future dreams and intentions, and this is the greatest gift of life that we can give ourselves, to actually live with what is out in our mind, or lives the dreams that we hold within our mind, right? And excuse me, you will work very hard to get it, and anything in your hard work will not go unnoticed, Cancer. And that's a beautiful thing about, that's why I said at the end of the month, please, I mean at that, like towards the beginning and a little bit in the middle, worry about what's going on at home, but at the end you can worry about what's going on, in your career, because you have a more clear mind. You know what I'm saying? Everything feels a little bit more appealing. Like things are like a red carpet is being thrown out to you, rather than you having to like literally step on spikes to get places. You have to deal with what's going on at home for first, Cancer. So yes, that's all I have for you, Cancer. I hope that was helpful. Definitely like, comment, subscribe, please. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Let's move to Leo. So Leo, Mercury is going to be going direct on April 7th, and this is going to be happening in your 8th house, of your resources, your shared resources. So whatever you need to talk about, whatever conversations you need to have regarding your emotional, financial, psychological well-being with the next person, or if you need to see a therapist, or if you need to confront something will come to light, or something will come to your awareness where you're able to resolve these unresolved issues regarding your resources or finances. Even though it may be a little bit uncomfortable, it's best that you clear the air, Leo, whatever you need to clear the air about. Okay, on April 16th, we have Mercury in your 9th house, and your 9th house is Mercury is going to enter your 9th house, and your 9th house is about travel. It's about your education and things of that nature. And so you could be like, the tempo could be going very, very fast when it comes to your travel, your big eye picture, even like your bigger ideas of life. You can have these really big ideas. You can have really good conversations with people as you're traveling. Your education can have better momentum, as well as your personal growth or your connection to your higher self, Leo. You gain a little bit more fulfillment where Mercury is moving from Mercury is in your 9th house on the 16th. And then on the 12th, we're going to have the Libra full moon, finally, right, Leo? And this is going to be in your 3rd house of your communication. And so this brings a focus to the conversations that you're in, the way that you let your mind wander, Leo. This all comes to the surface, whether it's you having to make a decision, an agreement, sign a contract, come to an agreement, have an important conversation, a revelation, some type of clarity definitely arrives on this day when the full moon, some type of release, but something comes to the mind that brings you peace, brings you some type of balance, but not without letting something come to the light, Leo, okay? And so, so on April, actually on the 12th too, we're going to have Venus going direct, which is fantastic. And this is going to be happening in your 8th house as well. And so that kind of eases the tension with the intimacy, the shared resources, or, it kind of eases the mind a little bit. When you're able to have these conversations, or Venus is able to bring up this ease feeling. So that's a pretty good thing. And then on April 30th, Leo, we're going to be having Mars is going to be, not April 30th, on April 18th, Mars is going to be going direct. Mars is going to be in your sign, right? Mars is going into your sign, which means, Leo, you have the momentum to get things done. You're confident. You have this presence about you that's extreme. Like, no one can ignore you. No one can ignore you. It's dramatic. It's intense, but it's so heartfelt. It's so heartwarming that you want to do for others. It's like your ambitions take the center stage, right? And then on April 19th, actually, the new moon is going to be happening on the 27th, and that's the new moon in Taurus you need to set your intentions when it comes to your professional matters, or when it comes to anything regarding your direction in life, making these new goals to reach. That's going to require some type of effort, some type of work, but it's going to bring you up in some type of way, Leo. Okay, on the 19th, when the sun is entering into Taurus as well, it's like your ambitions, it's everything that not your life, but your ambitions, your aspirations, they all come to the forefront to be addressed. It's almost like you want to achieve some type of personal success. So that's why on the 30th or the 27th, I would say 30th to 27th, between those time when the new moon is happening, this would be the perfect time for you to set those new intentions regarding anything that you would like for your life path to go. You have the new moon in Taurus is building up a foundation, which is fantastic when it's in your house of ambition, right? It gives you the confidence, especially with Mars. Mars, what is giving you this confidence? Mars has been in your your 12th house this far. Mars has been in any out of your first and 12th house, Leo. So it's been, getting you to do some inner work and then think about yourself. Do inner work and then work on yourself. Right now, this is a time where you are revitalized in some type of way, and you need to use your will in order to make some type of presence that no one can ignore, Leo. Okay, so that's all I have for you, Leo. I hope that was helpful. Definitely like, comment, subscribe, please. I'm going to be moving on to Virgo now. So Virgo, April horoscopes. Virgo, there is nothing holding you back this month. This not people, not relationships, not yourself. Nothing is holding you back, Virgo. Okay, so Mercury is going to be going direct. Mercury is your ruler. It's going direct in your seventh house, and so pushing you forward to have that communication, have that heart to heart conversation. Think about your relationships, be clear, speak clearly from the heart. Do not let anyone hold you back, Virgo. We know that this month, well, I know, and I'm telling you that this month is going to require for you to do a lot of inner work, getting out of your comfort zone. It's being comfortable in the ways of being comfortable. Being comfortable around people keeps us in our comfort zone. Nothing is holding you back, Virgo. Okay, and it's time for you to be vulnerable. Think, well, I won't say think, but definitely try to speak from your heart, because that's truly how you get what you want and how you get the message across, right? Be clear, be very clear, but speak up for the things that you want, Virgo. And if you're not in a relationship, this is something that you need to let go of in order to bring in a relationship. You can be holding on to these ideas that do not push you forward. You're comfortable in these ideas. Never be comfortable. Always try to be better for yourself. That way that you can be better, you can attract better in your life. Never say, oh, this is what I'm gonna get. No, it's never what you're gonna get. You're always gonna get better, Virgo. Okay, so on April 16th, when Mercury moves into your eighth house, this really turns up your dialogue about intimacy, about your shared resources, about finances. This really gets you to be vulnerable, even bringing up or being able to talk about some of your insecurities as well, Virgo. So that's always a good thing. I think that transparency is definitely key to closing anything, or transparency is key to just being able to get everything off your chest. I won't say like every type of unionship or any type of dynamic that we're always going to be having the closing conversation, but I do think that when Mercury is going direct, it definitely gives you an opportunity to say what's on your chest, get what's on your chest, get out what's on your chest. And then on April 30th, we're going to have um on April 30th, you're going to experience this emotional bond or emotional fulfillment, or some type of decluttering from your old patterns. Okay, on April 18th, when Mars goes into Leo, this is energizing your 12th house, and this is getting you to think about your next move, or to act or reflect before making your next move, like asking your ancestors, asking the universe, where should I go? Digging in your own subconscious, seeing, hey, how can I attract better? How can I become better? This is definitely a day that's going to encourage you, or a time when Mars is in Leo that's going to encourage you, or give you that sense of, okay, I can do this. I can face my subconscious, or I can face my patterns. This is going to be, maybe you can rest a lot during this time as well. You're probably have been resting when Mars was in your 12th house, but as of now, Virgo, I feel like you are revitalized. You are able to now confront the darker side, or things you didn't want to confront before, whether it's about yourself. Your subconscious is healing, Virgo, and that's always a beautiful thing. And then when we talk about healing, right, it is just something that isn't being in an improved state, but you will evolve so much, Virgo, and that's always a great thing. When the sun is entering into Taurus on the 19th, Virgo, This is going to be encouraging you to travel and think about your personal beliefs as well. Thinking about the conversations that you have for your higher self, like the voice that's in your head, Virgo. What actually is it? Is the voice of the intuition? Is it you? Is it me? Is it everyone? Is it the universe? Is it God? Who is it? It's getting down to the bottom of those type of personal beliefs, right? What do you actually believe, Virgo? And what do you believe about yourself to be? That's most importantly when we're talking about the sun entering into Taurus. This is grounding us to the reality. Okay. And then when we have the new moon in Taurus on April 27th. This is beautiful. This is reinforcing some type of way that you can explore your ideas. You can explore, anything. This is exploration. This is growth. This is exploring your own mind, changing your perspective. This is setting your intentions in order to invite some type of growth, to invite some type of evolution into your life. That is beautiful, Virgo. I do think that having the conversation with your higher self is the best way. Not the best way, is like where you're going to start, especially at the end of the month. It's asking yourself, what do you truly want, and how can you get it, and who do you talk to? But it's more so, who are you talking to, right? Who is the voice that is inside of your head, and how can it be so clear? This is you trusting in the universe. K2 is in your sign. K2 is a very digging down deep, trying to get to the bottom of the surface, uncovering secrets, bringing up the shadow aspects of you, Virgo. It's going to get to the bottom of it, and it's better that you feel very inviting or welcoming to this inner voice of this newfound entity within you than for you to neglect it, right? So yes, that's all I have for you, Virgo. I hope that was helpful. Definitely like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys on the next video. Bye, Virgo. So let's move to Libra. April, Libra. April is about, for you, April is about stepping into your essence, stepping into who you are as a person. I do think that the key theme is relationships, right? Because we're going to have a full moon in your sign, but we're also going to have Mercury going direct in your sign on the 7th in your 6th house. Okay, but in your 6th house, this is you clearing away it's actually not clearing away anything, but you finding more balance with your work life, your spiritual practices, what's going on at home, your daily routine, your health. You're finding balance with day-to-day activities, or you're trying to refine it, and you're trying to clear away past things that do not like wasting time during the day. Like, you know what I'm saying, Libra? You're trying to get rid of that. And you're trying to sharpen your communication. You're trying to, when Mercury enters your 7th house, you're sharpening your communication when it comes to your partnerships, when it comes to other people, business partnerships, day-to-day work activities. You're just trying to sharpen up your communication and find balance. And that's always a good thing, Libra. When Mercury actually enters into your 7th house, I will say that this can progress your relationship in some type of way, or it like progress some type of way to get out your thoughts, if that makes sense. Like, your truest thoughts are easier to express, Libra, if that makes sense. They're easier to express, I would say, like in a more compassionate, a more loving way, like in a way that you are able to like help get your point across when you probably weren't able to before. Like, now you get a new chance to really reveal what's on your heart, Libra. When the full moon is happening on the 12th, the Venus is actually going to be going retrograde on that day as well. And Venus is your ruling planet, and it's going to be going station direct in your 6th house, which is giving you this this is beautiful for you Libra, because it gives you that beauty that you always knew you had type of thing, because Venus is your ruler. So it's like attracting this beauty into your life, making things come together a little bit more simply, attracting these whatever you need throughout the day. It's almost like if you needed a pen is there. It's no frustration anymore. Venus is actually doing what she needs to do for you, right? The people and places and things, they come to you. You're in the right conversations, right? On the 30th, on the April 18th, when we have Mars going into Leo in your 11th house, relationships, your goals, your wishes, but plans, they come into focus. And it's time for you to connect with people, collaborate with others, Libra. This becomes a little bit more easier, right? This is your focus, like your long-term dreams, your goals, your wishes. Because because a focus is going to be inwards for you this month. It is really important that you find clarity within your own mind. You find clarity within the matters that you would like to bring out into the world, and then present them that way. Finding clarity is going to be, I think that you can find clarity when the sun is going into Taurus on the 19th. Which is going to be in your 8th house of shared resources and finances. And in this way, it kind of it kind of helps you, like it promotes this emotional healing, this financial healing, that's deeper understanding and awakening your vulnerability. And maybe you need to talk to a partner, maybe you need to talk to someone, but you're just dissecting what you need and what has to be done for you, Libra, which is a good thing, like I always said, because it gives you peace of mind and an understanding. And that's very, very freaking great. The new moon on the April 27th, Libra, is going to be, is going to be in your shared resources as well. So this gives you a great, great new chance to incorporate something that's going to shape your relationship in magical ways, or shape your relationship to money in magical ways, shape your relationship to your mind in a magical way. This new moon can offer some type of stability to the mind, to your shared resources, or to any type of development when it comes to like government. When it comes to, when I say government, I mean like the government's resources, like the monies that we use. This is you finding some type of new approach when it comes to, hey, do I have to get this in order to gain some type of stability? You know what I'm saying? Do I have to get this type of help? Do I have to get a grant, a loan in some type of way? This month, it kind of goes a little bit more smoother, and that act is going to bring you into some type of stability, some type of clearer minds. Like by the end of this month, I do think that something is going to be shaped in a magical way for you, and I'm really excited about that for you, Libra. So that's all I have. I hope that was helpful. Definitely like, comment, and subscribe, please, and I'll see you guys on the next video. I'm going to be moving to Scorpio. So Scorpio, April horoscopes. Your April horoscopes this month is going to call, well, on April 7th, right? We have Mercury going direct in your 5th house. This is clearing away any creative blocks that you may have had, any arguments that you may have had with your kids, telling them to sit their ass down, telling them they don't know what they're talking about, but any type of frustration that you've had, this is now going to reconcile. Like you can feel a more, peace of mind, more understanding for the next person. It's like rekindling this passion and devotion, and it's beautiful because you start to refine your daily routines with being organized and things of that nature. And that kind of happens because Mercury is going to be moving into your 6th house on the 16th. And so that kind of makes you think about your well-being. You know what I'm saying? You get off of thinking about like your creative projects, because you start to realize, hey, when I'm taking care of my body, taking care of my health day to day, I'm more creative. I can move around a little bit more. I can think a little bit more clear. And that's why this month, it calls for like inner reflection to action a lot, Scorpio. When it comes to making an action, do some type of reflection. And this is going to bring a lot of shift when it comes to like liberating yourself from any type of blocks you may have filled, or any type of personal or professional things that you may have tried to get into but you felt blocked, or you feel like maybe you couldn't truly like understand it, or maybe you feel like you couldn't do it. Now it gives you a clear mind where you have time to review, you have time to think about or release any type of baggage that does not bring you to any type of level. On the full moon, because on the 12th, when the full moon in Libra is going to be happening in your 12th house, this is time for you to meditate. It's time for you to think about your inner life and think about what needs to be released, because as you're releasing this, Scorpio, you're clearing away a lot of spaces for new beginnings, new understandings, new information comes to the surface. It's almost like closure happens for you. Energy healing is so freaking the best thing that we can do for ourselves as energetic beings, right, Scorpio? Because we are energy, right? And sometimes we make ourselves sick. We do a lot of things in order to find beauty, right? But what we need to do is finding beauty within our energetic bodies, caring about that, caring about those type of exchanges, right? And on the 18th, we have Mars, which is your co-ruler Scorpio, entering into your 10th house, activating your 10th house of career and public recognition or reputation. So this is, you're thinking a lot about your ambition. The vitality is renewed, where you're able to think about, hey, what can I do with my life goals? What type of bold steps do I need to take towards this? And it can be very exciting for you, Scorpio. On the 19th, when the sun goes into your house of relationships and Taurus, it's time for you to manifest a great relationship, especially when it comes to that new moon on the 27th. Manifest a relationship that's going to bring you peace of mind. Taurus is the Buddha. Taurus is wanting to bring peace, stability, understanding, loyalty to the partner. Scorpio, that is time. It's time for you to ask the universe for it, or evolve the current relationship that you have. Or if you don't even want a relationship, I would definitely, the 7th house has to do with business partnerships. It has to do with judges, it has to do with other people, any type of relationship, friendship. I want a soul friend. I want a friend that really understands me. This is the time to call in that stable friend. Call in that friend that has freaking loyalty. Okay. And so the new moon, like I said, it's a new start, whether it's business, whether it's personal. Ask for something, call in something. Okay. And you will continue to feel very vitalized this month, because Venus is going to be in Aries, and this is going to be prompting like these new opportunities. Venus likes to attract new opportunities. Venus likes to bring in what we want. So don't hold yourself back for what you want, Scorpio. I'll definitely make those bold steps. But I will say that when it comes to your inner world, it is time for you to accept those new beginnings, because Venus in the 5th is bringing faith to your aspirations, bringing faith to your love, bringing faith back to you. So it's just a time to do not hold yourself back, Scorpio. Okay, so that's all I have for you, Scorpio. I hope that was helpful. Definitely like, comment, subscribe, please, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye. Hey Sagittarius, so we have Mercury going direct in your 4th house. This is going to help you resolve any family issues, any miscommunication that could have happened with you, with the mother, any delays with the family. This can be a really vital period when it comes to exploring your ancestry, your history, speaking to your family. You can feel like you have a stronger bond, like you're connected stronger to them, right? And feel like you're in your purpose, because you're exploring your lineage, you're exploring your ancestors. You're feeling as though like life is happening for you and not to you, because it's meant to happen in some type of way. You're being brought, like you're thinking about history, memories, like some type of feeling is coming to you, or some type of enlightenment comes to you when you feel as though you feel a stronger bond. You're more anchored down to your ancestry in some type of way, Sagittarius. On the 16th, when Mercury moves into your 5th house, this is going to bring a new wave of creativity, possibly new romance, but a new way to playfully express yourself, a new way to have like conversations just flowing for you. This is a great time to connect with children, with joy, with your inner child, with your past memories, or with your past life memories, any type of joy, fun, going out for sports, just spending time doing something that is very fun. And it just flows effortlessly when Mercury moves into your 5th house on the 16th. On the 12th, when we have the full moon in Libra, Sagittarius, this is going to light up your 11th house. And this is a turning point when it comes to your future goals, but also when it comes to your friendships, and like-minded people. There can be a chance to collaborate with others. There can be maybe you find some type of clarity about people who genuinely support you or support your vision. When Venus goes direct on the 12th as well in your 4th house, this is restoring harmony and beauty back to your space. And I love that, because as I said, on the 30th, when Venus goes into Aries, this brings a more of a harmifying, beautifying aspect to what's going on at home. You know, it's more of an understanding, Sagittarius, that you've had than having a lot of mental agony. You know, Mercury goes in a retrograde in the fourth house. It can bring up a lot of memories that we didn't want to see, you know, before. But now there's a reason. It's like fueling your passion, it's fueling your creativity, it's fueling your inner child again. You know what I'm saying? And on April 18th, when we have Mars going into Leo, this is going to ignite your ninth house of adventure, of travel, you know, and this gives you a new, you want to explore new experiences. It's like that gets amplified. Your curiosity to the world gets amplified, to what's going on in the world, traveling, meeting new people, different languages, different food. You just have a thirst for these new experiences. When the sun goes into Taurus on the 19th, this is going to bring attention to your daily routines and your wellness. And this is a very exciting month to get in shape, or to get whatever you need to get done for yourself when it comes to your health, when it comes to taking care of your well-being. This is a perfect time. You feel more centered, Sagittarius. You feel more at peace, more things are at play. You feel as though this is good news. Honestly, I feel like good news can come on this on when the new moon on the 27th, because this invites you to build some type of new um stability for yourself, or set intentions for something that is productive, you know. So it's like ensuring that you reach these goals when it comes to your wellness, or when it comes to anything. The new moon in Taurus ensures that something is going to be established in some type of way, whether it starts from the beginning, you know what I'm saying, whether it has to be built up, something new is trying to be reached here for you, Sagittarius, when it comes to your health, or it comes to some type of wellness practice or regimen that's going to help you feel more heart-centered or centered at all. Okay, so that's all I have for you, Sagittarius. I hope that was helpful. Definitely like, comment, subscribe, please, and I will see you guys in the next video. I am going to move to Capricorn. So Capricorn, we on April 7th, Mercury is going to be in your third house. And so when Mercury is in the third, because Mercury loves the third, because this is the natural home of Mercury, any type of miscommunications you may have had, any type of things that felt stalled, any stagnant ideas, any reoccurrent ideas, you know, it's like clarity returns, and you finally have a way to confidently express yourself away again, or make a decision at that, or feel at peace in the mind to be able to make some type of decision, especially because Mercury is going to be going into your fourth house of your mother, and this brings a focus to your home, you know, your inner security, your family. It's like all of those things are shifting for you on April 16th. That's when Mercury goes into your fourth house, and your inner security it's really on your mind. You know, your mother is really on your mind too, Capricorn. Any type of clear like any type of communication or anything like that you need to say, or you need to get across, maybe you choose to do it during this time as well. But your inner security, because I feel like the fourth house is who we are when we are by ourselves, or we are emotionally just dependent upon ourselves, you know what I'm saying? So when you're mostly dependent upon yourself, it's usually the fourth house. Like that's your emotional body, if that makes sense, right? And so it's coming to your mind for a reason, if that makes sense, Capricorn. It's like these things definitely return for some type of clarity. On the 12th, when the full moon is going to be in your 10th house, this is going to bring closure to any type of matters that do not bring you towards your life path. Any type of let's say, you know, you're up for like a recognition, or you're up for professional, something professional. This, you can find closure if you didn't get this position, right? Or you can find a time where you can reassess your ideas, or reassess your ambitions, and see why it didn't work, right? Why it worked or it didn't work. Venus is going to be going direct in the third house, so it's your communication that comes a little better, back smoother. It's more heartfelt conversations that have happened. And I feel like when Venus enters into your fourth house on the 30th, brings a very healing aspect to the emotional body, that you now understand what is going on in your career, what's going on in your life path. It's like your personal life, Capricorn, is your main priority, right? Your professional goals is your main priority, or your emotional well-being is your main priority subconsciously. But you can think, okay, I'm after this, Capricorn. That is outside of you, but really, this is an internal experience, and it's beautiful. And on the 18th, this is going to bring, because Mars is going to be in your eighth house. Though this brings an intensifying, intensifying transformation when it comes to money matter, when it comes to your intimate connections. You can find very spicy, very hot, very violent sexual experiences. Like, expect more to be happening inside of like the bedroom or inside of your mind, even when it comes to like you imagining it. It's like you're experiencing a lot of ways to be wild and ways to be free and express your sexuality or your vulnerability, whether this is just like in your imagination or whether it's with the next person. Okay, you are speaking romance in some type of way. On the 19th, when the sun is shifting into Taurus in your fifth house, this is going to stimulate your creativity. Your inner child wants to play, wants to find pleasure and inner peace. This energy, even with the new moon, it kind of deepens this moment, deepens some type of moment of like, you want to hold on to some type of moment of joy. You want to hold on to some type of moment of passion. Create a passion project, or create something, Capricorn, that just expresses some type of joy and creativity. It can even be deep, and when we have the new moon, it's just setting up some type of momentum to bring you to the next level, but most importantly, like, to strengthen that inner child, like that inner light that's in you. It's like, that's what wants to shine through, and that's what's going to shine through. And I feel like this new moon can bring a sense of freedom, joy in some type of way when it comes to like building up. It's like your foundation is strengthening, so you feel more happy to be happy, if that makes sense, Capricorn. So yes, that's all I have for you this month. I hope that was helpful. Definitely like, comment, subscribe, please, and I will see you guys on the next video. I'm going to move to Aquarius. Okay, so Aquarius, hey Aquarius, you are going to be having a Mercury is going to be going direct, or station direct, on the 7th in your second house. So any type of emotional, or, and I don't even say emotional, probably emotional, right? Be talking about Pisces, but any type of financial or self-worth issues that you may have had, any type of confusion, this brings this fresh new idea to the way that you look at yourself, your perspective when it comes to lack on your monies, when it that whole mindset, is a victim mentality when it comes to making resources. It's like Mercury is now bringing you these clear financial money matters, our ideas, or it's bringing you these clear this clarity of the mind. Let's just say that clarity of the mind to make these decisions that can empower you and can empower your finances as well. So if it has been stalled, you can if it has been stalled, or you have been thinking a lot about, why don't I have enough, the victim mentality of Pisces sometimes, because it wasn't want to let go. But money comes and goes, right? Especially if you have Pisces as your second house, Aquarius. It's really important to know that money will always come and go for you, but money comes more when you are feeling good about it coming. Like, you have to be a feeling, because Pisces is feeling. Pisces is the shapeshifter, so it's almost like you have to shapeshift yourself to believe, like, I'm happy to pay these bills, so it returns back to you. That's just a little side note, Aquarius, when you have Pisces as your second house. And so on the 16th, when Mercury enters your third house, this gives you the power up when it comes to your voice. This gives you a chance to convey your meaningful ideas, and probably have really good meaningful discussions as well to Aquarius. On the 12th, when you have the full moon in Libra in your ninth house, on that day we also have Venus sanctuary direct in your second house, and that's beautiful, because Okay, that because Venus in the second house also wants to bring the stabilizing matter to how you feel about yourself. She's like, you look good, you look fantastic. And you should feel fantastic. Venus in the second house brings us a beautiful face, brings this beautiful face, beautiful eyes, the beautiful taste, really good food, brings very good like it brings a very great gift to our senses. It's always a gift if you have Venus in the second house. It's like everything just tastes better, looks better, and it's a beautiful experience when you have Venus transiting your second house. So definitely take advantage of that, okay? So on the 12th, when we have the full moon in your ninth house, I feel like this can be a moment of truth when it comes to your personal growth, a moment that has you reach some type of turning point. A vision can come to you when it comes to working towards seeing the bigger picture about yourself, your personal goals, your education, or something that is very important to you. Aquarius, but if it has to do with like travel and education, even your higher self, it is time for you to have those conversations. Like you're looking more at the bigger picture, and that's great. Changing your perspective can literally change your life, Aquarius. On the 30th, um there can be conversations that are about when Venus enters into Aries. There can be conversations about your creative endeavors, your business, the things that you want, things that you want to attract out. Like I said, Venus in the second is beautiful. Definitely make sure to have those the conversations, because there can be a very like harmonious flow where things are just it feels good. So when if it feels good, it's good things are happening, right? Well, not always, but when Venus is in the second house, that is what she wants to bring. Great things. Um, um, yes. And also, Venus in the second brings a confidence that is so much needed, Aquarius, in order to relieve ourselves from any type of ideas that promote lack, especially with Mercury being in retrograde in the second house. It has you going over the past, where remember when I didn't have this, remember when I didn't have this, now you have it. It's time to like really well, it's not time to do anything. Mercury brings in, or Venus and Mercury brings in that stabilizing value that you need, more that you need to have the healthy like self-worth, Aquarius, if that makes sense. And so on when Mars on the 18th is going to be in Leo, this really brings a focus to your relationships, right? They are freaking intensified. You know what I'm saying? This is very stimulating, even if you're not in a relationship. Interactions with other people is very stimulating, right? It's because, but what I always like to say, Mars and Leo can be a bit dramatic, like ruffling people's feathers, because if it's not getting the attention that it wants, and it's not really about attention with Mars, it's almost like if their inner child is being suppressed, ignored, they act out and they don't even know that they're doing it. But on the brighter side, the confidence and the creativity that's built is beautiful. It's magical that what can come through them, what can come through healing the inner child or revitalizing the inner child. Oh my goodness, it's a beautiful combination, Aquarius. So definitely use that time to be very intentional about the things that you have to say, very intentional about people, allowing others to say anything to you as well. Listen to your partner, listen to what's going on around you, and try to really find the common ground in any type of dynamic. Remain completely as heart-centered as you can, Aquarius. And when the sun is entering into your fourth house on the 19th, your emotional foundations are up for review. You have the new moon is going to be happening on the 27th as well. So it's time for you to set intentions for more loyalty, more stability, more people coming together that create a very like essential way. They create a house that actually wants to be in, Aquarius, right? It's like you need people around you that feel like home, creating this stable, supportive vision, of course, creating this stable supportive vision, but creating this stable supportive environment as well. Like, yes, I want like-minded people around me, but I also want to find stability and harmony with what I am around, with family or whatever the case is, right? And so, yes, that's all I have for you, Aquarius. I hope that was helpful. Definitely like, comment, and subscribe, please. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Okay, let's move to Pisces. Okay, Pisces. So, Pisces. April clears away a path for you finding new confidence. You're finding a deeper sense of value. You're finding like you can align more to your values, your morals, align more to your vision. Mercury, is going to be going direct in your first house on the 7th. This kind of clears away any mental fog. This helps you communicate more clearly, more magically, but more like heart-centered, more in a space of compassion, but finding compassion within yourself. You finally found compassion within yourself, Pisces, right? And now you're able to communicate more clearer and better with yourself and others. Decisions that may have felt like you couldn't make these decisions, or anything that was up in the air or very cloudy or uncertain, they should feel more aligned and more centered and more like you're making the right choice and more like you're listening to the nudges of the universe, which is very important for you, Pisces. Please listen to the nudges of the universe. They are important. Your self-esteem, okay, because Venus is going to be going into Aries on April 30th in your second house. We're also going to be having Mercury moving into your second house on April 16th, and this brings a huge focus, and your self-worth is up for reevaluation, and not even up for reevaluation, it just takes front stage, and it encourages you, Pisces, to really align to what truly matters, or to pursue what truly matters. It's like you have the confidence now. You have found it. You have found the self-worth. Now it is time for you to put that forward and pursue what actually matters to you, especially with Venus being in there as well, trying to attract some type of abundance into your life, Pisces. When Libra is ruling over your 8th house, the full moon in Libra on the 12th brings a focus to your shared resources, to what you have with another person, to the harmony, the intimacy that you experience with the next person. Also, the manipulative tendencies that you have been involved in with the next person. This is a time where you approaching these types of dynamics with a sense of healing, a sense of closure. This lunation, I do think, brings a closure to any type of shared resources, or any type of financial matter, that you need to let go of, Pisces, right? And this can even deepen your sense of personal transformation, or it can deepen your sense of financial agreements. Like, when I say deepen your sense of financial agreements, I mean you see like the financials that you have been getting are shared with the next person. Maybe it is time for you to face your fears and let it go, or maybe it is time for you to let life like unravel for you and not hold so tightly onto something else, whether it's intimacy, whether it's anything. Just allow yourself to be transformed through being without, Pisces. Truly, you'll never be without, right? Your life just flows in this positive way, and it's time for you to just let some things go so you can face these fears. So the great news about this is when Venus goes into your first house, or Venus stations direct in your first house, this restores your sense of inner harmony, inner balance, inner peace, and inner acceptance, freaking Pisces, right? Inner acceptance on the journey as we are evolving, as we are finding this self-confidence and this momentum in our self-confidence. Venus is going to be moving, as I said, in our second house, and so this is financial abundance in some type of way. Anything that was owed to you comes back to you. Anything that you set out to do, it's met with appreciation, or it's met with some type of let me see, like you're able to price yourself, Pisces, right? When Venus is in retrograde, you're thinking, hey, like, how do I do this? How do that? You're really going over your self-worth. Now that your self-worth has some type of momentum, you're able to reach some type of financial abundance. And remember that abundance flows wherever you put your focus, and your productivity. Your productivity or your creativity has been amplified for a many months now. Mars has been going back and forth between your fifth house and your sixth house, Pisces. So that means you've had a lot of creative, nudges, a lot of creative and pursuits. You've had a lot of physical energy to get things done, with Mars being in the sixth house. And also Mars is going into the sixth house on the 18th. This is you refining and prioritizing your well-being. You are ready to share some type of idea, when the sun is entering into your third house on April 19th, because Taurus is that stability, it is that loyalty, and it's your third house of your communication. And it's like you're using the new moon, or you will use the new moon. Please, Pisces, there is a new moon in Taurus on April 27th to set your attentions around learning, networking, having your words being used as power, setting these new opportunities are definitely on the horizon. However, you want to set the intention to having them grow, to planting the seed and watching them grow, bringing those ideas into life is the greatest thing that you can do for yourself. Beautiful, beautiful. And then when I say when Mars on the 18th is going into Leo, this is you prioritizing, as I said, your well-being. When you prioritize your well-being, when you get on the end of the month and you get a new chance to set an intention with the new moon in Taurus. This is a beautiful combination, because we know that if you're spending time in nature, Pisces, connecting with nature, Taurus is nature, setting those alchemizing tendencies, alchemizing experiences, writing down what you want, like your words have a lot of power, Pisces, and then your experiences have a lot of power. You have a lot of power, Pisces, and it's time for you to harness it, transmute it, or alchemize it. Okay, Pisces? So that's all I have for you. I hope that was helpful. Definitely like, comment, subscribe, please. And I will see you guys in the next video.